Had a great question come in from Nicole, and we're going to be answering that in today's video. So just what do you do if you're looking to leave a toxic workplace and you've only been there for less than a year? How do you answer that question in an interview? Well, that's what Nicole is asking today, and here's her question. I've submitted a few job applications on Indeed. What do I say during a job interview about why I'm looking for a new place to work after only being at my current job for a year? Well, Nicole, this is such a great question, and I think it's one that many individuals struggle with when they start to debate, do I stay, do I go? Is that we worry about what the potential questions could be and let that be the fear that keeps us in a place that's no good for us. So I'm going to give you 3 steps to consider as you prepare for your job interview, and I'm going to help break it down with an example that you've given, toxic gossip. Okay, so Nicole has actually given me some background information in some of the other videos in the comments around toxic gossiping and how there's a group of people who have been gossiping about her and it is not being addressed by the workplace. Now, I do have a video on toxic workplace gossiping right here, and I did send that to her, but I'm going to answer her question now about the job interview in this video. Okay, so the 3 things I want you to consider are you're going to keep your answers short, it will be honest, and it's going to be growth focused. So let's look at that honest piece first, because that's going to help you prepare to keep it brief and growth focused. Now, when we look at the honest part of this experience, we're looking at the 360 honesty, not just the fact that we're in this place that feels really uncomfortable right now, because whatever you say in this interview is a reflection of you, not that organization. Your words will be reflective of your integrity, your tact, and your grace. So how do we address this big question with grace? Well, we're going to look for those other threads of honesty. So let's take a little walk around this situation, shall we? On one hand, my work-life balance sucks in this place because all I'm doing is ruminating about this thing. I leave work, I think about it, I think about them, I think about what I am doing, what I'm not doing. I talk about it with my friends, with my husband, and nobody wants to hear it anymore. So my work-life balance sucks. That's a thread of truth that we can use to answer this question. So why are you leaving your job? You've only been there for a year. I'm looking for some better work-life balance. I'm finding this current role I'm in is taking up a lot of my time in the evenings and the weekends. Period. Now we don't have to tell them that that time is being used ruminating about this toxicity and the 5 people who are gossiping about me and how I can't get my work done. Nope, we don't have to go there. You get to keep that. You get to put it in your past as you move forward. So what's another thread of truth? Well, perhaps you're looking to fully utilize your skill set and you're not able to do that because you've been job actioned, you've been transferred, you've had responsibilities taken away from you. So let's use that thread of truth. So I see you've only been at this current job for a year. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you're leaving? Yeah, thank you for asking. I have so much to offer to the company and I'm just finding that I'm not being utilized to my full capacity. Because they're micromanaging you. I have so much to offer in terms of skills and knowledge, and one of the reasons why your job appealed to me is because it's going to actually utilize the full scope of my skill set. Something that I find is lacking in my current job. Again, you don't have to talk about the reasons it's lacking, but you're focused on what it is you want to contribute to an organization. What's another thread of truth that you can use? I'm so glad you asked. The truth is, sometimes we just don't get along. Interview gave me all the green lights and I thought it was going to be a good fit. And once I got in there, I realized that we had different visions and goals as to how to achieve things. So rather than stay in here and be a part of what's holding the company back, I want to join somewhere where I can actually be a part of the future. Boom. None of those reference toxicity in the workplace, but they do all speak to the impact, the things that you're not able to do as a result of the organization and where you want to go. Growth, potential, innovation, creativity, better life balance. Now, the third thing I want to share with you is to ask a question back. A lot of the fear that we have comes from it's like a one-sided conversation in an interview. It is not. You're interviewing them more than they're interviewing you because you're not going to jump for another toxic place. So you've just answered the work-life balance thread, and now you want to know, do they actually believe in work-life balance? So we're going to ask them a question. Would you share an example of what work-life balance looks like for you? being underutilized and you want to be working to your fullest potential and scope. Let's ask a question back. We're going to lob it back over to the interviewers. Where do you see my experience and skill set best serving the company? And when personalities, if that's the thread that you're going to take, that some personalities just weren't working and you decided to find another place, let's lob a question back. This is a juicy one. We're going to ask them, what's your leadership philosophy around when teams and personalities aren't working well together? How do you manage that? So you're going to keep your answers short. Number one, you're going to be honest. Number two, and number three, you're going to ask them a question. Find out information about the employer so you can make the best decision that you have available for you. Thanks for asking this amazing question, Nicole. And I know a lot of people, including myself, worried about this when I was leaving my organization. So if this has been helpful for you or you've got something to add to this conversation, I want to hear from you in the comments below. This is our place to have a dialogue back and forth. I do read all the comments and respond to as many as I can. And of course, subscribe to this channel. It helps me know that the content I'm making is useful for you. Obviously, the comments, subscriptions, and sharing tells YouTube that this is stuff people need to hear. So I'd love for you to do that and journey along with me. My name is Tammy, your leadership and communication skills coach. And if you're looking for one-on-one support and for a coach to help you with your leadership so that you can have better influence, better relationships through your communication skills, you're going to find below that there is a free 60-minute discovery call. You and I, that's it, talking about your vision and what's getting in the way. And then if that's something that's of interest to you, we can work one-on-one in a coaching relationship, or I've got some other programs I can recommend for you. Either way, I'd love to hear from you in the comments or in my calendar. We'll talk soon.